This mother, this father learned that their child had died in a hail of bullets by the Dalton police from the news. From the news. After they had been visited by Dalton police officers.
When police arrived, they asked Wilson and her passenger to get out. He complied, but they say Wilson sped off when an officer tried to stick his hand in the vehicle to take her keys out of the ignition. Wilson's family says that officer struck her during that struggle and believes she panicked and tried to get away. In the process, police say she dragged an officer, then hit another one who fired shots at her car. Wilson then crashed into a nearby bike shop. A spokesman for the city of Dalton said officers fired at Wilson because she was using her car as a weapon. Her family says officers told them she had died in an accident and that a shooting was involved, but that they did not tell them it was police who shot her.
Whether Alexis Wilson was killed by a bullet or the impact of the crash, an open question for now.
Hi everyone, Asagai from Drinking Gourd. Thanks for tuning in. Today we revisit Dalton, Illinois, and Mayor Tiffany Henyard's efforts to hide the truth about Alexis Wilson's death. After the last video, I uncovered some additional footage that was released. I believe that this new video will shed more light on the cause of Alexis's killing. This was the narrative pushed out to the media and public by Tiffany and the Dalton police. We'll see if the video agrees.
In the process, police say she dragged an officer, then hit another one who fired shots at her car.
The vehicle is being used as a weapon, and the officer obviously was in fear for his safety.
Police say an officer opened fire, hitting 19-year-old Alexis Wilson after she hit two officers with her car.
Just moments after she drags his partner with the red minivan she's driving.
The narrative paints Alexis as an aggressive criminal trying to run over several police officers. The video shows the exact opposite. 4 officers responded and all are accounted for in this still frame. This is the moment just before Alexis drove off. 3 officers are clearly visible and one is not because he is already in the vehicle. And there wasn't anyone in front of the car. So which officer was hit? So let's take a look and see which officers could have been struck by Alexis' car. We have all the officers that are accounted for outside the vehicle, which is Officer Perez here on the driver's side, another unknown officer who's in the back, and the female officer that came later is also on the passenger side. Officer Carlton is already in the vehicle. If we watch as the vehicle takes off, it strikes the parked police car here. The door is already closed. Every other officer is clear of the vehicle, and Officer Carlton is inside of the vehicle. As we can see, there's nobody hanging out the door, okay? There's no way that she would have been able to get past that police car if that door was open. His body would be literally half out of the car. He is not. And if we look at this angle shows the door shutting as she takes off. Right here, the door is completely closed. She's already struck the police car, and you can see right here is the side view mirror that shows that that door is completely closed, and Officer Carlton is in here in the passenger seat. Even though we don't have all the footage, what we do have speaks volumes, literally. This next clip is of the disputed punch. Up until now, we've only had visuals. Now there's sound. You tell me what you think. This is the official report from the Office of the State's Attorney in Cook County, Illinois. This was the investigation led by the Law Enforcement Accountability Division. Wilson appears to turn her upper body toward Officer Perez with her right arm and raise and then quickly lean back away from Officer Perez as a slap sound was heard. No, that was not a slap sound. He hit her with the hand that he was carrying his flashlight in, which was his left hand. Due to the angle of the camera, it is unclear who slapped whom. The only reason why it's unclear who slapped whom is because they used the body camera footage from Officer Carlton, who was in the car. They cut away from Officer Perez's body camera, which would clearly show what happened in the altercation between Officer Perez and Alexis Wilson. They're saying that she took off without any provocation, without any warning. She just decided on her own to do that.
Once the vehicle actually hit the street, there was a series of gunshots that were heard. The officer responded to those gunshots by firing his weapon.
Tragically, this all ends in 4 seconds. 4 seconds after Alexis tries to get away from being punched, Officer Carlton starts shooting. Officer Perez believes he's being shot at and returns fire. 4 seconds. Justice for Alexis Wilson can only come if Mayor Tiffany Henyard releases all of the footage. We end with Carol Wilson being able to address Mayor Tiffany directly at a city meeting. Thanks for watching.
This way.
My sister actually used my middle name because she was afraid that you wouldn't let me speak. I'm Cara Wilson. I'm the mother of Alexis Wilson, killed by Dalton, Illinois police. At the time that my daughter was killed, Tiffany stood in front of a microphone much like this and said that she stood with the cops and they did do the right thing by killing my 19-year-old child. Not only did she not take those words back, she didn't offer her condolences. She's never said anything. The first thing she did was hire this group of security guards to surround her and PR. So the real reason Tiffany has security is hiding from accountability about what she said about Alexis Wilson when she was killed. Now, if you watch the coverage of this murder, these officers violated her rights, reached in her car, jumped in her car, and put 7 bullets in my child, 2 in her head and 5 down her side. And the next day, you guys tried to spin it like she did something. Watch the video. She did nothing to deserve this. And again, last time they brought up Alexis, she's doing what she does now. Look this way, look that way, every way, but at the person talking. You don't give a damn, and you never did, and you never acted like it. She called out a whole press conference to call my daughter a criminal, and Homewood Flossmoor graduate with no criminal record. But Tiffany, you have one. Because we used your mugshot to protest in front of your house. And that's why you hid. That's why you have security. So let's tell the truth, which I know you're incapable of. I wouldn't trust this woman if she stood on a stack of Bibles and had her tongue notarized. Not a damn thing she says comes out her mouth is true. Thank you.
Say her name.
Alexis.
All right. Okay.